which is a real shame because I was hoping that I could be there almost 2 years after the start. I do remember on New Year's Day, I walked with Chris, with my daughter and my son, who both can't be here today, which is a real shame. They wanted to see you at the end of your walk. And we walked a couple of miles out of Skegness, and it was not a bad walking day. And we got to a point where it got a bit tricky, and I'd just got ordinary shoes on, and the beach was a bit sandy. I thought, I'm not going to do any of this. And when I left you, I didn't realise that you were so pleased that I'd gone. Because Chris wasn't very well, if you remember, when we first started. A bit full of flu, and I think the phrase you used, you were hanging. And luckily, after Derek Butcher had got rid of me, he then picked you up and took you for a pint. He did. And then the walk started. But one of the things we said as we were walking, I'd said, what are you going to do tomorrow? What's your target for tomorrow? And then what's your target for the next day? And where do you want to be in about a month's time? And you don't work like that. You said, well, I'm not sure. I'll do it as it comes. Now for me, that would have been a stress-related thing. I would need to be knowing where I was going to be the next day and the next day. But that would have been a stress for you, wouldn't it? Being that focused with that routine. So you've done it absolutely your own way. And I think we've all followed your blogs and your comments and your adventures. And you've had some adventures.
Oh yes.
And you've met some interesting people, and you've met some fantastic people. When I go to various Masonic meetings around the country, people see my little lapel badge and they know Lincolnshire Freemasons, and they will come over and they'll say, are you Lincolnshire? Yes. Do you know Chris Jones? Yes. And then they say, what a great guy. He's so humble. He's been fantastic. He's been to our province, he's been to our lodge. You've done over 100 lodge meetings. You've done provinces all across the UK. And the feedback I've had has been overwhelmingly positive. What a nice guy, what a great cause, what an amazing thing that you're doing. And I'm so proud to be your Provincial Grand Master. You have been an absolute torchbearer for mental health issues. You've been a standard bearer for the MCF. That's the Masonic Charitable Foundation. You've been a fantastic ambassador for Freemasonry. And you've been the best advert we could ever have for Lincolnshire. Yeah. So for those who don't know, and there might be one or two in the room that don't know Chris, but for those who don't know, in May, Chris is going to be appointed as the active provincial sword bearer. Wow. As he said to me in an email a couple of days ago, I haven't got a clue what that entails, but basically Chris will be on all my team visits with me. He will be the first in front of me with the provincial sword. We're going to try and keep you busy, Chris, because I've got a feeling that after next weekend you're going to have very little to do. And I've spoken to your lovely wife already, and she said, can I get you out more? And I think being back at home is going to be a bigger challenge than the 2 years that you've put in already. I know you're going to be writing your book. We'll speak. Jess Highland and I have got a little project we want you to get involved with as well, which I'm sure you'd like to get involved with. But the biggest adjustment is going to be adjusting back to normal life. Whilst you've been out looking after yourself, wild camping, sleeping anywhere that people offer you a room. And yeah, it's just been absolutely incredible. I don't know how much your total is at the moment.
No, I don't.
Where's Stuart? How much are we up to on the total?
Including the gift aid, it's a little over 61,000.
Okay, well, that's not really good enough. So if I could ask the Provincial Treasurer to come forward, let's do an instant, make that 71,000. Wow. So here's a cheque from the province of Lincolnshire, made out to the Masonic Charitable Foundation for Chris Jones, £10,000.